Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Judd.
And welcome to Bedlam Gaming. I'm not sure what episode we're on. We haven't shot anything since E3. We did some live videos then. But there was a surprise announcement from Nintendo today. We were originally going to record a video to talk about the Friday the 13th game, which we've been playing. But we'll put that off for right now because Nintendo announced today that they're going to be releasing the Super Nintendo Classic Edition. So the Super Nintendo Classic Edition, a lot of people have been talking about it possibly coming out as a rumor.
Yeah, which made sense. I mean, they came out with a NES Classic, so.
And a lot of people wanted it, so the demand was there, and so it has been announced today on their Twitter and on their Facebook page. It's going to be coming out this September. Let me see.
In limited quantities, I'm sure.
Unfortunately, that is probably exactly right. We're probably looking at pretty limited quantity on this. It's going to be September 29th, though, so I'm going to try to camp out, I guess, to get this, much like I ended up finally getting my NES Classic Edition. So, September 29th, you could see me outside of a store at 4 o'clock in the morning, if not
Mark
sooner.
your calendars.
Maybe sooner, waiting for this thing. And hey, maybe I'll shoot some videos while I'm there waiting. So, they also announced what games are going to be on the system. Now, there's only going to be 21 games on it, which
I didn't know that.
Which is a little bit, it's less than the NES Classic Edition, of course. That had 30.
Oh, I thought I had 40 for some reason.
No, it had 30. This has 21. Super Nintendo games were, I mean, a lot of them do run more expensive, so. This also comes with 2 controllers. That's different than the NES Classic Edition.
I'm sure the cords are going to be like this long.
We'll see, but that is one of the reasons this is going to retail at $79.99. But
70.
But the game,
I'm sorry, $80.
80. But the games on this system are really good games. So we're going to have Super Mario World, of course. We're going to have Super Mario Kart.
Good.
The Legend of Zelda,
Good.
Link to the Past. F-Zero. Super Metroid, which is, I think, the best Metroid game. Metroid Prime is also very good, but Super Metroid is quite possibly one of the best Metroid games.
You know, one of the top ones, no doubt about that.
Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, or not Super, I'm sorry, Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Never played it.
Super Punch-Out.
That's amazing.
Super Castlevania 4.
Never played it.
Donkey Kong Country.
Great.
Mega Man X.
Never played it.
Kirby Superstar.
Never played it.
Final Fantasy 3.
Never played it.
Kirby's Crash, what am I saying? Kirby's Dream Course. Star Fox.
That's a good one.
Yoshi's Island. Super Mario RPG. Contra 3: The Alien Wars. Secret of Mana. Earthbound. And Super Ghouls and Ghosts. And also, the 21st game is going to be a game that has never been released, and that's Star Fox 2. This is a game that was finished.
They made completely.
They completely made this game, and they didn't release it because the N64 was about to come out, and they just shifted all focus to it. And so they didn't release this game.
Stellar move for something that you have made and could have sold, but didn't.
Now, I have actually played part of this game because there is a ROM out there that you can play on an emulator. It's not complete, but you can play a lot of the game, and it's very good. It's like from Star Fox to Star Fox 2. It's different. I mean, it's very similar, but it's also different at the same time. It's been a long time since I've played it, but I can tell you that if they have the complete game, this is a really big deal. that we'll finally have an official release of Star Fox 2 that's... I would doubt they would release it if it wasn't complete, so it has to be the complete version they're going to be releasing on here. So that's really cool. I'm really looking forward to having that and being able to play Star Fox 2. There are a few things about the games they chose that I would have done differently. For example, instead of Super Mario World, I would have done Super Mario All-Stars Plus World, which would give you 5 games, including World.
Yeah.
And would also give you Mario 1, 2, 3.
And the Lost Levels.
4 and, I guess, 1, 2, 3, and Lost Levels, yes, so 4. So 5 games. 5 games for one, so, I mean, that would have been nice. A lot of these I'm glad are on here. Street Fighter 2 Turbo is probably the best version of Street Fighter that was on the Super Nintendo, so that's good. I've never played Kirby's Dream Course or Superstar, but I do like Kirby games, and I know Superstar is supposed to be really good. I may have not put Dream Course on here. I would have liked to have seen... well, actually, I would have liked to... I would leave that on there and add a couple more games. I would have liked to have seen 25 at least on here. I would like to have seen Final Fantasy 2 and 3, not just Final Fantasy 3. Chrono Trigger would have been nice to have on here. I'm really glad Earthbound is on it, of course.
I mean, it seems like a good selection of games. Like
it really is.
If you had a Super Nintendo, these are the games that you'd want to have as a kid.
It's hard for me to pick some that I would like to say, oh, I don't want that on there. Other than Super Ghouls and Ghosts, because I'm going to kill myself trying to play it, and like Ghosts and Goblins itself is bad enough, and Ghouls and Ghosts may be easier, but that's not saying, when I say easier, I don't mean by much, because those are tough games. They're very good. I'm not saying they're bad, but they're very tough, and that'll be nice to have. But I'm looking forward to this, and I will be doing my best to get one. I hope I do get one. And hopefully Nintendo's learned from the last time. I know they said that they didn't intend to have it be a full release, and that they didn't realize demand was going to be so high. And part of it even wasn't a demand problem. Part of it was a scalper problem. I think that a lot of people that wanted them would have been able to get them, if not for people that were buying them just to resell them at exorbitant prices. So hopefully, well, that problem is going to exist regardless, but hopefully...
Nintendo just seems very scalper friendly. Like, the stuff they do is just tailor-made for people to go in and scalp their crap.
Well, it's not that they are friendly to it, but they can't
but they
help
do
it what people
stupid things, like not making enough and not realizing, hey, we can put more into production and
so
make
hopefully,
more money.
Yeah, hopefully production will be high on this, and...
I'm not counting on it, but we can hope.
And I don't know if this was always a plan. I don't know if they decided to do this because the NES Classic did so well. I don't know if they decided to do this now because Apple is kind of screwing them over on components for the Switch, which is making it hard for them to get the Switch out like they want.
True.
So it might be they're doing this to placate people.
Of course, if they really wanted to placate people more, they could reintroduce the NES Classic.
Yeah, and I think they will probably re-release that at some point too. I imagine it's going to get re-released. That would be the best case scenario too, is that they release this and then they release the NES Classic Edition, which they said they had no plans, for it this year, but that doesn't mean next year they wouldn't, may not decide to do a wider release with more units. But that's the news for today, the big news for today from Nintendo. So be ready for September 29th, I think I said. $80. I think it's a good price point. It's fair for all the stuff you're getting. You're getting 2 controllers this time. And if they had put, the last time, if you had bought the NES Classic and you bought an extra controller, you would have been spending $80 because the extra controllers were $20. The official ones, anyway, that you can never find.
Yeah.
So that's all I think we have to say about the Super Nintendo. Do you have anything else to add? Or?
Nope.
Okay, good selection of games. I know some people are bummed that all 3 Donkey Kong countries aren't on there. I agree. I think all 3 should be on there. Like I said, they should have done 25 games. They could have, or 25. They could have done, really, I mean, they own this stuff. They could have put 30 games on there and kept it at the price point. They could have put all 3 Donkey Kong countries. They got the rights to use Final Fantasy 3, so surely Squaresoft would let them use Final Fantasy 2. Chrono Trigger could have been on there. There's just so many good Super Nintendo games, though. I understand everything can't be on there, and they don't want to overdo it, but the choices are very solid, very good lineup.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. I do have own some of those games. I do hope to eventually own the cartridges for some of those I don't have, because I am into a retro collecting kick now that I'm trying to go back and collect some things I don't have. But ultimately, that's all we have to say. So we will see you soon to talk about Friday the 13th, the game, and also to talk about the Friday the 13th movies, which we've been marathoning.
Yep.
Because we saw a list that was not a top 10, but a top 12, I guess, of the Friday movies, talking about all of them, and we disagree, so we want to do our own list.
Yeah, we're going to rank them ourselves. So,
and our lists may differ even a little bit, but they're going to be pretty close, I think.
Yeah.
They're going to be very similar. So, thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned. Keep watching us. Those of you that are watching us, anyway. And thank you very much.